My girlfriend broke up with me and told me she doesn't want to be our daughter's mom anymore. The mother of my child, who had been my girlfriend for over 3 years until last night, broke up with me and told me she doesn't want to be a mom right now. I'm 19 and in my sophomore year of college. She's about to turn 18 and in her senior year of high school. We had been together for another 3 years, since we were in high school together. She got pregnant toward the end of my senior year. Our daughter just turned 1 year old. The pregnancy wasn't planned. We were careful but not careful enough, and it happened. I was willing to support any decision she wanted to make. We talked through all the options together. She wasn't forced by anyone to keep the baby, but I told her I would be involved and support that if it's what she ultimately decided to do. She said she already started to grow attached to the baby and love it early in the pregnancy and couldn't get an abortion. Neither of us were very comfortable with adoption, so she decided to keep it, and I adjusted to the idea of becoming a dad at 18 years old. I had been accepted to another college a state away, but changed my plans after this happened and decided to go to an in-state school within driving distance of where we live. I live at home with my parents and commute to school. I'm only going to college part-time and will most likely graduate in 6 years instead of 4. I had planned to go full-time, out of state, and had much bigger goals for what I'd do after that. I also have a job, and all of that income goes to supporting our child. I'm okay with that. This is my responsibility. I love my daughter. I don't have a ton of free time, but we do share custody, and our daughter splits her time about 50-50 now between both of our family's houses. She used to have her more often because she was so little, but I still went over to her parents to help and to see my child all the time. My girlfriend is a loving mom, or always seemed like she was. I know it's been hard for her in many aspects, but I thought she loved our daughter as much as I do. I couldn't imagine saying I don't want to be her parent anymore. There are moments when I still can't believe this is my life, and there are times where I wish I had some more freedom, but I still wouldn't change it. She told me last night that she's been thinking about it for a while. She's applying to some colleges further from home and eventually wants to go study abroad. This isn't what she wants for her life, and she's not ready to be a parent right now. She told me I'm much better at it than she is, and she feels like a fraud. She said she wants to figure out what needs to be done legally to give me full custody of our daughter. We don't have any sort of legal custody agreement right now. She also suggested that maybe it's be good to start transitioning our daughter to eventually live full-time with me, starting right now. She wants to have her less time, but thinks it won't be right to do it suddenly. I'm just sort of in shock, blown away by this really. I can't believe she would do this. It's not about me having to care for our daughter full-time or anything related to me. Not wanting that. I'm so angry and almost disgusted at the thought that she could just decide she really eventually wants nothing to do with her own child. She made it clear that she doesn't want to be her mom when she leaves here. I'm trying not to explode. Maybe she was just feeling that way and will change her mind. Editor's note. I was going to add some of OOP's comments here because they're good and thoughtful, but there are 5 pages of comments. If you'd like to read the comments, I've linked them below, starting at the last page so you can scroll down to the bottom and work your way back from oldest to newest. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. Update 12 days later, I gave my ex-girlfriend about a week to tell her parents about her plans to abandon our daughter, attend college out of state, and eventually move abroad. She's living in a fantasy land. Her parents are really involved with our daughter, so I thought they had to write, to know about what she was planning. One day I got impatient enough that I told her parents myself. Last week when I went over to their house to pick our daughter up, my ex wasn't even there. I was pissed off and told her parents everything she told me. I also let them know that I think she needs to be evaluated for PPD. I wasn't really familiar with it before. I knew about it, but only the more extreme cases of moms murdering their kids. When I looked it up, I realized she has a lot of symptoms, and I can see signs that I missed over the past few months. Now she's mad at me for telling her parents as well as accusing her of being crazy. She insists she was screened for PPD already, and she's fine. Her parents have told her that if she wants to go to school out of state or go study abroad, she'll be all on her own and they won't support her in any way. They can't actually stop her. Her mom assured me she'll make sure she gets screened for PPD. Although her parents didn't want to agree to it at first, My daughter is staying with me and my parents for the next few weeks to give my ex a break. Sometimes her parents forget they aren't my daughter's parents. That tells me a lot about what probably goes on over at their house. At first, my parents thought this was just a phase she was going through, and maybe it is, but we've decided that no matter what she ultimately does, I have to get an official custody arrangement in place. If she can make a decision like this and just drop it like a bomb one day, she could easily change her mind just as fast and decide she wants our daughter all to herself. My mom and dad are going to help me with finding a lawyer to give some guidance with those aspects. I'm not trying to terminate her parental rights. Probably couldn't if I wanted to, since it's just not that simple. I just want to protect myself and my daughter. I wanted to add oops last comment because it is concerning to me, seeing as she just broke up with him. This reminded me of the possible hypersexual behavior of a manic episode. She's not going to stay over there right now until her mom says she wants to resume seeing her. She texted me last night. I know some people are critical of the assumption she has PPD or something else going on, but she's not acting like herself. I'm not trying to vilify her or call her crazy. She said, "I miss you. You never want to have sex with me anymore." That was really strange, and not like anything she has ever said before. She didn't even mention our daughter, but she misses sex. When and where are we supposed to do that now? I said, "Sorry, I'm too busy taking care of our daughter." None of how she's acting is like her at all. I wasn't really interested in having sex anymore after she got pregnant. It had nothing to do with her. I just got freaked out that this actually happened to me and didn't want it to happen again. Plus, we barely see each other, and when we do, the baby is usually there and we're at one of our family's houses, so I don't see how it's even going to happen. Comment. When I was in 8th grade, we had this series of classes on what it's like to be a parent. We had a speaker come in and do a bunch of exercises. One was about the financial responsibility. We were tasked with going to the store and looking up the costs of baby stuff. They gave us an hourly wage amount and other costs like daycare, and then had us create a monthly budget. That was sobering. There was other stuff about the time it takes out of your life. The emotional toll of missing out while you're a teenage parent. The speaker had been a teen mom herself and really gave an honest account of her experiences, the bad and even the good. But it was clear that it stole her youth. They really deglamorized being a parent and gave weight to the reality of it. They didn't moralize or shame or even try to make it some kind of taboo. They made it sound exhausting and a bummer and lonely and just something to choose to avoid to the best of your ability. Programs like that can sometimes miss the mark or be overdramatic. But I gotta give it props that it was pretty effective. My friends who were super excited to be moms one day, not teen moms but still weirdly hyped emo, said that adoption would be preferable to raising a child before being a functioning adult. That's a fucking win. We have come to the end of our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. Tell us what you think about this story in the comments.